Hey guys, my name is Abhishek and today we'll talk about the advanced expense tracker plus the net worth calculator. Thank you so much for buying the tracker. It really helps me. I'm just demonstrating how I will use it personally. I will not talk about the advanced tracker first, but then the intermediate and the beginner one first. You'll not find this on this page. You have to click here. Okay. So this is how it will show up. We'll talk about beginner expense tracker first. All right. So the thing which you will see is this is the default view. All right. So all the information which you have added, it will be shown here. So for example, at the very bottom you can see the sum of $35,000 I've spent on few things. So how I have categorized, the categories are food, utilities and all these things. You can always add more, like if you have to add OnlyFans, you can do that here. And then next month, January, February, all the months are available. So now what you can do is just click on this new plus button and then add all your details. Select the date and then the category and then the month and then add the amount. And it's so simple. Let's suppose $100 and system will automatically calculate it for you. And then you will see the number will change because it is adding the sum. So now this is the default view, which is not really helpful in understanding how we are spending. So we have few views which you can select. There is a default view, then the view is by month. All right. So in this view, the amount of spends you have done on a particular month. If for instance, this is filtered out for January. If I select February, it will show me how much I have spent on February. Yeah, see, there is one for February for $1,200 for electricity bill, which is not really right. For by month, you can see the spend on a monthly basis, and in the category, it is pretty self-explanatory. It is filtered out by category. So you can select various things, like for food instance, you will see all this data available. So this views will help you understand how much you're spending either by month or by the category, which is really helpful in the very starting phase where you want to figure out how much money is going out. So that is one area where it focuses on. But then it is kind of a limitation, right? Where you are trying to get the money which is going out, but then not the money which is coming in. And for that, we have the intermediate expense tracker, which will calculate the incomes also. So now how to use this? First of all, you have to start with the starting balance. The numbers are in rupees, but you can always change this to dollars. Just add the amount which you have in your bank account. And now how will we calculate? So first we will calculate the incomes. So this is very basic. There are a lot of views, February, March, all these are available. So now you can add all the things, and I have provided the types: fixed income and extra income. And these are all made up number, guys. By the way, my salary is not that less. First of all, salary, side hustle and donations. You can add all this information and the system will calculate it for you. Okay, so one tip I will give you is, in order to not mess up with the calculations, I will suggest going ahead and duplicating, and I'll tell you why. If I go ahead and click, so let's suppose we have to calculate the total income. So this system will automatically know how much income is coming in. So if I have to come income one, and this is for month January, if I add more details, the number won't change. Why? Because there are a lot of relations which you have to pull through, which is kind of cumbersome. So what I will suggest is just go ahead and make a duplicate of this. And then what the system will do is, you see this number automatically changed. So just focus on this one while I change this to 30,000. Let me do it 40,000. Okay. So if I do it 40,000, see the numbers changes. So what you can do is you can duplicate and then move them to the respective months where you're calculating the salary. For example, this is copy in January. What I will do is change the month from January to October. All right. And if I go ahead and go into October, you will see it is showing up, and then you can just go ahead and name it salary October. Pretty simple, right? So this is how you will calculate all the incomes coming in, and then the same way you can track all the expenses. Okay, so this is for the month February. Let me open up January. So where it will show you how much you are spending on each of these things. The suggestion which I gave you, just duplicate it, move it to the months. You can do this for obviously anything. So now if you have to add one more thing, so what I will do is duplicate this one, copy of grocery. So now I will change this to OnlyFans. I don't know why I'm obsessed with OnlyFans, but then yeah, go ahead and change this to 10,000. So you see the sum has changed and also the expenses. Quickly show you 89,000, right? So if I do this to 11,000, so it will come to 90,000. So system will automatically do all the calculations for you. What you have to do is go ahead and start with the starting balance. So it will tell you how much balance you have left. So it will also calculate the total income and the total expenses. Okay, so this is how you will filter. You can just select any month you like. For April, I don't think I have any, but let's see for March. Yes, copy of rent. This is how you can calculate the money coming in and also the money going out. You have paid money for the advance tracker. Walk you through how to add all the information. So the very first thing which you will see is the net worth. I will show you the calculations later on, but then the very first thing is loans. So this database will track all the loans which you have. Okay, so I have added a few of them. What you can do is just go ahead and change them. I will also tell you how where you have to enter the things manually. So the very first thing is frequency could be monthly, yearly, half yearly. For the most of the loans it is monthly. So the very first thing which you have to add is the EMI. So what is EMI? EMI is the easy monthly installment which the bank and the borrower have decided that they will pay this. So you have to enter this manually and then also enter the interest rate. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is, you just have to enter the EMI. You have to add the until when you have to pay it. For this example, let's suppose it is at 2023 June 6. So the system will calculate the total monthly installment and then figure out the amount left which you have to pay. So this is how you will select, you will add the loans. So you have to enter the EMI till the date till which you have to pay, and then the system will do the rest of the things. Okay, and then at the end you will see this is the amount which I have to pay, which is a quite big sum. Go ahead and add few more things. What you can do is, yeah, so there are a few of the things you can just go ahead and change them, but if you have to create new one, just like I told you how to duplicate, you can duplicate one and then make the changes, or go ahead and click on this new option and then select this template loan X and then enter all of the details, and the system will do the rest of the things for you. So let's suppose, let me create one for you quickly. Education loan, let's see, education loan I have taken. The EMI would be around 10,000. 10,000 is somewhere around, I think, $1,000 in USA, and then also add the date until which I have to pay. Let's suppose I have to pay it until 2030. So now the system will calculate the total amount which is left. And then the good thing about this is you can also have a view where it will show you the total amount which you have to pay. So let's suppose if I go ahead and delete this one, the number will change. So now the system has calculated the amount which you have to pay. And also if I have to open up and show you, there are a few things which you can add in your tracker, like the loan ID, bank, all this miscellaneous information, and also some psychological questions you should ask yourself as to why you have taken this loan and what are the things you are doing to close this loan as quickly as possible. So yeah, you can add all this information so that when you come back and see how much money you have borrowed, it will have a psychological impact on you, and try to close this as soon as possible. And this is the similar process for insurances. You see the total amount of premium remaining. So I'll quickly tell you how to add. You have insurance types, the life insurance, the term plan, the medical, and the car insurance, and then the EMI and the EMI date until which I have to pay. I have calculated it based on yearly installments. This will be the total amount which you have to pay. So let me go ahead and quickly go ahead and change this to rupees. So yeah, so this is the amount which I have to pay. I can go ahead and quick change this to rupee, and you can also change this to your preferred currency. All right, so now I will tell you how to calculate your investments. Setup is different from loans and insurances, where you don't see any option to add it. The system has calculated this automated amount, but how did the system do it? I'll quickly show you. So I have added a few things, like for example mutual funds, stocks, golds. Also have separate stocks in my kitty. So if I have to open this one, let's suppose mutual funds, if I open this up, there is a database inside where you can add all the information. So now your task would be to add all the data here inside of mutual fund. Let's suppose, let me add one mutual fund D, and then the amount could be 2,000 rupees, and then select the month June. System will automatically calculate it for you. So now you will see for mutual funds 12,400 is showing up now. So now this is the actual investment amount, right? But then how will you calculate the actual true value of that fund at the moment? This is where the manual things comes into picture, where you have to enter the current value manually, and this you can do it on a quarterly basis. You can do your investments on a monthly basis, add them here, but then you can calibrate it at the same time or after a few weeks or months. At the moment the investment amount is 12,400, but the value is 9,500. Why is that? Because I have not calculated the 2,000. So what I can do is add 2,000 more, 11,500. Only thing with investment is there is no proper way of adding all the information into Notion, and you have to do it manually. So you can calibrate it as your wish. If you want to do it this on a weekly basis, it's fine, but I generally, what I do is calibrate it quarterly, so that I actually know while I'm looking at the bigger picture, I know how much my investment is worth. Based on the current value and the amount investment, the system will calculate the profit for you. Don't have to do anything. You just have to add current value and the amount invested, and then the system will calculate the profit, the growth, and everything. This is how you will do all the calculation. So if you don't like the process of going inside and doing all these things, what you can do is there is a separate investment logger where you can add all these things. So let's suppose you have to add a Google stock, and then added the amount 10,000 rupees. And then the only caveat here is that you have to select that Google option here, and this is how it will get related. And then select the month, let's suppose June. But then the problem with this is the system will calculate the investment amount, but then the current value will be less, so you have to calibrate it accordingly. All right, don't forget to do that, otherwise your total net worth will suffer. If you want to add more, what you can do is go ahead and just duplicate it and then make the adjustment, but I'll suggest go ahead and click on this new option and then select this investment X. So now you will see all the data. So let me type test. If I have to open a new investment logger, you will see this test option available right now. You can just relate it over here or go inside and add all these details. Okay, so this is how investment will be calculated. All these things, loan, insurances, and investments, will calculate the net worth for you. So how it is calculated? It is calculated as investments minus insurances minus loans will give you the net worth. So I'll tell you the reason why I have selected so simple approach. It is because in practical world, all the things which belonging to you actually don't have a value until and unless you have paid off all your loans. They are still a liability, and if something has to happen to you, your family will suffer. Suppose you have taken a home loan and then something happens to you, the family has to bear those interest in order to acquire that home. And if something happens and they're not able to pay, then that house is not yours. The house is still under bank's name, and then if you pay off all the EMI, all the mortgage, then it is yours. So I don't calculate the house in my net worth, and I also don't calculate the insurances. Why? Because the benefits are always reaped by my family members, or at the very end they will be calculated. So right now while I'm calculating all this, it doesn't have any value. It has value in the later part, but right now your focus should be to pay off all your loans and pay off all the insurance premiums. And once you do that, obviously your net worth will go into positive. Honestly, for myself, it is a negative, which is not really a proud moment, but then yeah, so that is why I created this tracker. So I hope the net worth calculator is clear to you. If you have any questions or any suggestions on how to improve this, please let me know. I will be more than happy to add them in this tracker. Moving on to the liabilities, same concept like investments. You just have to go inside in and add all the things, or what you can do is add them in this ledger, where you can just create a new one and then relate them to the required liability. So I've added a lot of things. If you have more, you can just add it. Click on this new option and then select this unite. So I have not calculated liabilities because they are the bare minimums for us to survive. This is how we should calculate the net worth in my opinion. If you have a better suggestion, and if you have tweaked your system in such a way that you are actually able to track your net worth, then please do share it with me so that I can share it with the world. So thank you so much guys for watching. It is a very long video and I'm so sorry for that, but then it kinds of takes some time to explain all these things, right?